All right, here we are in 5.04. This is Lost City the Tolvia. Um, Obviously, this is not going to be a dungeon guide. There's no sense in doing a dungeon guide. We're in that weird, the land of time forgot between expansions. So they've done the 5.0 update. 5.0 or 5, anything 5 will be associated with Mist of Pandaria. But Mist of Pandaria has not dropped at the time of this video. So I just wanted to let you guys know, let you three or two, or if maybe it's just me watching these, what I've been doing in the meantime and why I'm not releasing any content. The reason being is there's no sense in it. I'm going to comment a little bit on this video, but just in the with the theme of why it's so crazy in 5.0. As you can see here, this druid has, I think, almost 200k health, and he's surprisingly difficult to keep up. This is a normal dungeon, level 84 normal dungeon. He's almost got 200k health. He's a bear, or she, I don't know if it's a guy or a girl. Who's to say these days? And it's just been different. I don't know if it's that they don't know their rotation, but anyway, the point I'm trying to make is it wouldn't be useful to anybody to have dungeon guides at this time because none of the rules are going to apply. All the classes are dramatically different. I don't know about dramatically. What's a lesser word than dramatic? All the classes are different enough that like some people don't know their rotations. You know, some classes got the shaft for sure. I've been leveling. In the meantime, I've been leveling up my DK, and I was looking at the DK, the new DK talent tree, and holy shit, they are next to invincible right now. I can go through using like defensive cooldowns and self healing and that sort of thing. I can go through like 3 substantial trash packs without a healer. But after the third one, because I've blown all my cooldowns, I can't keep it up indefinitely. But yeah, that was unheard of. And that DK is level 70 something. Actually, I think it's level 70. And I've seen some other crazy shit. This in this world gone mad. It's this upside down planet where druid moonkins. I was getting healed by a druid moonkin, and not only was he keeping me alive, he was also topping the DPS meters at the same time. So yeah, there's no sense in publishing any meaningful content right now, just because everything is so fucking crazy. And these dungeons also be impossible to get a level 84 tank who just got there, or very unlikely, because all these people now are running these dungeons. If I queue as a healer, I'm going to get a level 85 tank who's just going for justice points, because justice points can now buy valor gear. If you don't know what I mean by that, is normally they have tiers of gear, and valor points are the highest level of purchasable gear with currency. But at the end of the expansion, I guess they want everybody to just be super powerful towards the tail end of the expansion, and maybe let them try all the content that they weren't powerful enough to try. So now everybody's got this high level gear, which you would think would make it easier, but actually I found this dungeon harder than usual to heal, which leads me to another point, that the shamans, I'm not going to talk too specifically on classes, but my shaman, it seems like they've been taking down a much needed peg, perhaps. I don't know if I don't have too much experience healing with the other classes. I only do it I only heal just to be a better tank, because I like to understand what my healer's going through, and so I don't do it primarily. But yeah, it used to be that I could just heal everything, and like I think I had to drink a couple times in this dungeon, and maybe even, I don't know, I had to use more tricks than usual. And you would think that a tank with, what's it called, legendary, not legendary, but one tier down, the purple stuff, purple dragon. You would think a tank with that stuff would be easier to heal, but again, in this world gone mad, cats are chasing dogs, Christmas is coming in June, it's just crazy, so it doesn't make any sense to make any videos. So, what do you do in the meantime? I personally have been leveling up my alts. I do not have all the characters. I don't know if I'm ever gonna have all the DPS because I just hate the DPS queue. My God, it's 20 minutes. 20 minutes as a tank, as somebody who tanked right off the bat. Never even thought about doing anything else. I was just like, what? I cannot get used to a 20-minute queue. I suppose if I got more into crafting. I guess I don't know how you guys do it. I don't know how you guys could sit there for 20 minutes. After about 3 minutes, I just log the character and say, I'm not waiting anymore. That's bullshit. Let's see. So, what else do I want to discuss in this, possibly my only 5.0 video? Just so you know that this is my level 84 healer. He's got level 84 gear. There's nothing special about him. It's still possible. Oh, look at the druid turning into a deer or a moose or what would that be? An elk? I don't know. Whatever that fucking creature is, I think that's pretty neat. And then you can ride them, which makes it it's pretty irresistible to just hop on the back of one. I think I might even do it in this video. Actually, no, I don't think so. I think it was another one. What else we got? We got some classes. Oh, glyphs. I've been looking at the glyphs. Yeah, with the class, some of them are really awesome and some of them aren't. So I already said my DK is great. He can self-heal. I was looking at that talent tree and every single one I wanted, and that's like by design. That's what I think Ghostcrawler. I don't really know who Ghostcrawler is, but I've read some of his posts. I think he's officially affiliated with Blizzard. And according to him, what they want is for you to have difficult choices because you want all of them, but you can only choose one. And I think they pulled that off pretty well with the DK. Not so much with my Paladin. I was looking at my Paladin. I'm leveling up another Paladin, and I was just I was not excited about like 90% of that tree. And they were difficult choices not because I wanted all of them, but because I just which one was the least useless. And so yeah, that was a pain in the ass. And then glyphs. The glyphs are completely fucked too. Like some of the glyphs are same thing as the talent trees. Some of the glyphs or some of the classes you want. Oh, I want this glyph and that glyph and that glyph. I want all these glyphs. And then other ones, it's just like this doesn't help my party roll at all. And it's the same thing. I think that I don't know much about the DK. I haven't worried about glyphs with him. But yeah, so everything's crazy. Everything's absolutely bananas right now. So don't worry about it. Don't worry. In 3 weeks' time, we'll have the dust will begin to settle, and then I think after about a month, we'll get some more meaningful guides out there. And I might just throw some trash in there just to keep the YouTube channel fresh and exciting. Excuse me. Let's see, what else did I want to discuss? Fuck, there was another thing that I'm forgetting. Jesus Christ. Now I'm just stalling. This is what you do when you stall. You just say, a lot. If I was President Obama, I'd go, That's what he does. Jesus Christ, I can't think of it. Oh, well, I'm just going to talk about the dungeon a little bit more as I try to think of it. What the fuck was it? Oh, racials! That's what it was. Racials. Blizzard needs to get rid of these racials. I currently want to roll a priest so that I have a priest at level 85 for the launch of Mists of Pandaria. And priests are just ridiculous right now. A disc priest leveling up. They are consistently topping the DPS and keeping everybody alive. And they have full mana all the time. It just looks like so much fun. I'd love to be leveling one up right now. But I am going to wait for the Panda Racial, because I believe the Panda Racial, I don't know, I've read two different things. One was the Panda Racial is going to be a CC, an instant cast CC, that you can cast at a distance with a glyph, I guess. And the other one was a stun. And both of those just seem way the fuck overpowered, which leads me to my main point, is you should never have racials. They should just eliminate racials from the game. They're always trying to balance the racials and make them perfect. I think currently the best racial in the game is the Tauren. The Tauren AoE stun, they just stomp on the ground. If I didn't hate the way that Ogremar looked and all that shit, I would just roll all my characters Tauren just for that racial. And that shit is so powerful. That shit as a tank, when I leveled a Tauren DK, and when I was tanking, that shit was just a lifesaver so many times. You could bite off way more than you could chew, and the healer could be lagging behind, and then you just put that stomp on the ground, and you think like, oh, what's 1 second? But 1 second is enough time for that healer to wake the fuck up and start healing you. So that shit, like, everybody should have access to all the racials, and then obviously they wouldn't be racials, but, you know, do something like, here's your bonus, your, you know, what did they do in Oblivion? I think it was by, like, you could just say I was born in such and such a month, or no, under such and such a constellation. You get to choose which bonus you want, and it didn't matter what race you were, and I think that that's the way that they should do it. This racial shit, the fact that I'm waiting to roll a character that I want to play just because of a racial, it's not really right, and it's not by their design. I think that maybe they're cheating, maybe they're cheesing their sales by saying, let's give this panda the best racial at the beginning, and then people will be more likely to buy the game. I think that's more likely that that's what they're doing rather than trying to balance things out, but that's just me. Again, remembering, I just look back at the DK. I actually wasn't around for the Wrath of the Lich King expansion release. But when I look at the DK and I compare with a lot of the other stuff, I'm just like, Jesus, this DK is ridiculous. And I can imagine that that was more of a marketing decision than a balanced decision. But I could be wrong. I wasn't at any of those board meetings. But yeah, so the racials, you know, it's just such a pain in the ass to have to worry about that sort of thing when you're creating a character. The design should be... you know, there is a debate about cookie cutter classes, because then everybody would choose, you know, most people would choose the best racial ability, you know, but then two responses to that. Blizzard should be making an effort to make it less obvious as to which one you want. So, for example, that AoE stun for 1 second, or a 5-second stun on a single target. Like, that's a hard choice, and those are both good choices. And I started off, I rolled a priest, dwarf priest, and I just stopped because I was like, you know, this stone skin racial is absolutely worthless to me. Like, maybe in PvP I'll use it, but if everything's going well, I'm not going to be taking any significant amount of damage. So a defensive cooldown for a fucking healer, it's like, what, you know, what are they thinking? So, excuse me. So yeah, so that's my little spiel on racials. And then, while this boring ass boss continues, I'm gonna keep talking about, I had another issue. Oh, the cookie cutter classes. I'm actually in favor of that. I think that everything should be, what's it called? Superficial. All the differences should be superficial, but like mainstay things like the ability to self-heal a little bit, everybody should have that. The ability to CC, everybody should have that. The ability to stun, everybody should have that. And then the flavor of those abilities should be different. So like right now the DK has an ability, they've granted them an ability where they can cast a shield on a friendly. So that's the first time that I'm aware of that DKs could heal party members. Basically, you know, casting a shield is not healing, but for all intents and purposes. So, in my opinion, that's like a good thing. And they have, you know, it's a death shield or whatever. But that's just more functionality for that class, but it's got that DK flavor. I think that that's what they should be going for. Just have everybody have, you know, main abilities that are consistent across all the classes, but then give them a different feel depending on what the, you know, RP of that particular class is. That's my opinion, and that's what's going on in 5.04. So there you have it. That's why you won't see a lot of new videos coming up lately with dungeon guides, at least, is because of that. Alright, see ya.